welcome to the Boyle Sports 2011 Grand National Preview. Well, the Grand National is the biggest betting event of the year and is also famed for being somewhat of a lottery. The Irish haven't won this since Silver Birch in 2007 and have a strong representation this year. So I'm going to now take a look at some of the punters' fancies. Well, Ruby Walsh has a lot of faith in the Midnight Club. He's the only jockey to have won this race more than once and has had plenty of the field to choose from. And with Ruby on board, his odds have been cut into 8-1 from 14-1. The horse has been trained especially for this race, and of course, Ruby has a lot of fans out there and will always favour his mount. So one of the most backed horses in this race. Well, next up we have another Irish horse, Oscar Time, at 10-1. Could finish the perfect year for Sam Whaley-Cohn, who won the King George and the Gold Cup. Oscar Time, another really favourite horse with the punters. Last year's Grand National runner-up and will enjoy the race. Definitely one to watch. It's been nearly 40 years since Red Run became the last horse to do the double, and many punters believe that Don't Push It has as good a chance as any other horse that's tried to do that since 1974. He won last year's race well and is at his best at this time of year, with two eye-catching performances over hurdles recently. He's definitely an each-way chance of running into a place, and I really fancy him to do that at 12-1, and one of our worst results in the book. Well, Silver by Nature is available at 14-1 in the betting, and very rarely does the weather adversely affect the ground in April at Aintree, but should the rain begin to fall in the run-up to the event, then there can be no better bet than this horse. He is the recent winner of the Grand National Trial Chase at Haydock in heavy ground. He will need bare minimum of soft ground, but should he be lucky enough for it to happen, then he has an outstanding chance. Well, I really fancy Big Fella Thanks for this Grand National. 12-1, was 20-1 at one stage. Last year he finished a credible fourth and was only pushed aside later on when tiring over the final two fences. It's quite possible that the race came a year too soon, as he was only an 8-year-old, and having had another year to mature, improve his stamina, and with course knowledge he can prove himself to be a valuable bet. Okay, now we've got the biggest prize of the lot of them that I'm going to talk about. It's Killyglen at 50-1. One of the most unlikely contenders, but could run well for much of the race if running in his usual prominent fashion. He's shown form since 2010 when finishing runner-up in the Grimthorpe Chase at Doncaster, had top weight in this year's renewal of that race, and it proved too much of a burden, but the run should have brought him on, and he can run well at gigantic odds, an each-way bet for me.